There's only two things crazier than a standard small size pickup truck making me over $15,000 every single month. That's number one, these trucks are pooper scooper trucks, which means they literally go out every single month and they pick up people's dog poop to generate income. And number two, that I now have close to 20 of these vehicles out and about making me money on a monthly basis. Stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how this industry works, and I'm also going to break down the cost associated with getting your own fully branded pooper scooper truck out on the road making you money. Let's get into it. For those who don't know, my name is William. I'm the owner of a multi-million-dollar pooper scooper business in the Pacific Northwest and the founder of the Poop Scoop Millionaire community on School. In this video, I'm going to break down the unit economics between each and every pooper scooper truck that we have out on the road. I'm going to tell you how many clients they can handle. I'm also going to break down some of the key costs on how much we actually pay our employees to go out and operate these trucks and run those pooper scooper routes. And at the end of this video, make sure you stay tuned because I'm also going to break down the exact costs that it took us to get our full setup. And for those that are looking for a little bit more of a budget-friendly option, I'm also going to break that down for you as well. Let's get into it, guys. All right, so to start off with, we're going to break down the unit economics of a single pooper scooper truck and what that route might look like. So from our experience serving over 2,000 customers a week in the Pacific Northwest, we found that one truck or one employee can typically handle around 150 monthly clients. And kind of the interesting thing about this is we offer different service frequencies, anywhere from twice a week to once a week to every other week to once a month. We actually only end up servicing every client about 80% of the time. So out of that 150 clients, we're only actually servicing 120 cleanups every single week on average for that particular route. So if we break this down even further, that means that each employee only needs to be able to clean around 3 yards an hour or 24 yards a day, which is super achievable because we have some savages out there and they're cleaning 30 to 40 yards in a single route, depending on that density. So that's kind of how much work you can get done. As far as what you can charge, on average, our clients are paying us a little over $100 every single month. So you just take that $100 times 150 clients on that truck's route, and that gives you $15,000 every single month coming in as business revenue. And the best part about this is all these clients are on a recurring subscription, which means you don't have to go out and hunt for new customers month after month. They're just going to be right in there for your business, and you're going to know exactly how many clients you have and exactly how much money you're going to be bringing in. All right, so now that we know what each truck is grossing for the business on a monthly basis, it's time to talk about some expenses. And the cool thing about this industry is there's really not a ton of expenses because once you get your route built up, you don't have to spend a ton on marketing. You don't need a big fancy office. The biggest thing you're going to be selling is just actual labor. I mean, there's not even really material that you're going to be selling other than some bags and some other things here and there, but the cost is pretty minimal, I will say. So when we're looking at our expenses, probably the biggest one is going to be labor, and that's assuming you're not going to be doing all the work yourself. So I'll just kind of break down our labor costs on a truck by truck basis. So we try to pay our employees as good as we can. We try to pay a couple dollars an hour more than FedEx or Amazon or other lawn care companies in our area. So let's just assume we're paying our employees $20 an hour in this location. When you add in all your payroll taxes, your LNI, your workers' comp, all that other stuff, let's just assume that's another $3 an hour. We're in a pretty expensive state, might not be as much for you. And we also provide our employees with benefits, so health, medical, dental. So let's just assume that ends up being another $3 an hour. So it's going to bring the total to $26 an hour for your true burden labor rate. Let me just pull up the calculator here. So if we just take $26 an hour, annualize that, that's $54,000 a year per employee per truck. Divide that by 12. We're paying right around $4,500 a month for each full-time employee, and that's paying them a pretty decent wage. That's covering all the insurance, all the taxes, all that stuff we have to do, as well as providing them with medical benefits, which a lot of companies don't do. So that'll give you a big edge on the hiring front if you're looking to get some pooper scoopers on your team. Really, the only other expense that's going to be coming out of that other than your fixed expense, like your car payments if you have it, your car insurance, business insurance, your CRM, going to be your fuel and your bag costs. So I usually budget around $500 a month for both of those, but typically it comes in a lot less than that. Essentially, your cost per truck, other than your major overhead, marketing, all those other things, is going to be around $5,000 a month. So you want to make sure that you are making at least double that, in my opinion, but preferably a lot more. As you can see, we're close to triple at this point. Also, is why it's so important to make sure you are priced correctly. If you're only charging $60-$70 a month per Scoop, your margin's going to be squeezed pretty tight, and you're not going to be able to afford to pay people that well or provide benefits or really grow the company whatsoever. All right, so now that we know the unit economics of each pooper scooper truck, it's time to break down the cost to actually go out and get one. So there's a ton of different options on there, and it's primarily going to come down to if you take the waste or not. If you don't take the waste and you just put it in the customer's trash can, you can get away with a much less expensive, fuel-efficient vehicle. I'll kind of talk about that a little bit later. But if you want to go do the full thing, you want to go get a truck, you want to get a dumpster, you want to take the waste from your customers, and you want to provide that full level of service, I'm going to break down that cost for you. Even within this, you do have a couple options. You can either go out and buy a brand new truck, or you can buy a used truck for quite a bit cheaper. We're at the point with our business now that we prefer to buy brand new trucks. It's easier to get financing on those trucks, and there's less maintenance issues, less breakdown time, and they can actually be out on the road making money more than a used truck might if it's breaking down all the time. That's just our preference. You can get started for a lot less money than what I'm about to cover. For us right now, one of the most affordable brand new trucks you can buy is a Ford Maverick. So I just looked at their website, and right now the 2024 models, if you can still find one, you can pick them up brand new with a starting price of $24,000. You have to pay taxes and licensing and all that on that, so probably bump the cost up a little bit higher depending on what state you're in. In our state, we have like a 9% sales tax, so and all sorts of licensing fees, so that might bump that closer to $26,000, $27,000. Next thing you're going to need is your tools, which is basically just going to be your scooping bucket, disinfectant, and your garden rake. And we like to have multiple tools on each one of our setups, just in case something breaks, somebody forgets a tool at somebody's yard for whatever reason. It's always good to have a backup. So I like the budget, just a couple $100 to get everything set up for that. And then finally, if you're really wanting to kick your advertising into gear, I highly recommend that you get a full truck wrap on that vehicle. It's actually our third best customer acquisition channel, being truck wraps, and also helps all of our other advertising work better, whether that's Facebook ads, Google ads, showing up on organic SEO. People see the brand, they see that all of that, and it helps us get more customers. It also helps us charge more money because we look like a professional, more well put together company, because we are. Typically a wrap on a truck like that is going to cost you anywhere from $2,500 on the low end all the way up to $4,000. So depending on your area will depend on the price for that. But basically all in, you're going to be right around $30,000 for a brand new truck with 0 miles, pretty much, full wrap, all your tools set up for you to go out and start making money. With that being said, if you choose not to take the waste, you can get away with a more fuel efficient vehicle. So in our locations where we don't take the waste, we actually run with little Chevy Sparks, and we're picking these up all the time for about $5,000. And the cost to wrap one of these is about 30% less than the trucks. For less than 10 grand, you can actually have a really nice setup with a full wrap on a Chevy Spark. Or if you want to save even more money, you can go ahead and finance a cheaper vehicle like a Chevy Spark, and you can just go spend 50, 60, $70 on some door magnets. And it'll still give you some good exposure, just not as good as that full wrap would. That's kind of the cost breakdown on the per truck economics, if you will. And really at the end of the day, if you're spending $30,000 for an asset that's going to be able to generate you $15,000 in gross business revenue and a pretty healthy chunk of profit every single month, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. So let you know how much income each one of these pooper scooper trucks can make your business and about how much they cost to get set up and going, you might be wondering, how much does it cost to start a dog waste removal business in the first place? That's why I've broken down a step-by-step video here right on YouTube that explains all the startup costs that you can expect, all the recurring costs that you can expect, and if you have some extra money, some things you can do to just really supercharge the growth of your dog waste removal business. So I'll link that video here and in the description. If you are really serious about starting your own pooper scooper business, you should consider joining the Poop Scoop Millionaire community on School. Not only is there a ton of courses, there's over 150 other business owners you can ask questions to, but we've also been negotiating community discounts on all sorts of things, anywhere from marketing management to key software to equipment. And if you utilize all these things, it actually pays for more than the cost of membership in the Poop Scoop Millionaire. So definitely check that out as well. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day and happy scooping.